Hey everybody, welcome to AJS News. This is the first of two videos we got for you today.
But first, a brand new word from our sponsors.
Joe, we need to get him something for his birthday.
He's so hard to shop for.
I know.
Let's get him like tools or something.
No, Joe, he already has all the tools known to man.
What about a shirt?
Yeah, shirts are easy if he didn't wear circus tent size shirts. They're hard to find. God dang it. You know what? Go ask him for money. We'll figure it out later. Yeah, go ask him for money.
Alright.
Go.
Hey Dad, can I borrow some money?
For what?
School supplies.
Wait, isn't it May? And aren't you almost 40?
No? Sweet. Thanks, Dad. Okay, I got the money.
Okay, I think I have the perfect gift.
Yeah, me too. He needs a new calendar. He doesn't even know what month it is.
What?
Stupid.
No, no, a wallet, Joe. Look at how giant that thing is. An extra wallet, too.
But he's got a lot of stuff. What happens if that was too small?
He needs to slim down, and plus, Extra has plenty of other dad-sized wallets as well. It's the perfect gift. Let's do it. Okay.
I know some of your wallets look like this. I know some of your dad's wallets look like this. Father's Day is
time for an upgrade.
coming up. This
Yeah.
is the perfect gift. They're going to use it every single day. And there's some
Absolutely
major
perfect.
discounts on the website right now. So click those links down below.
Alex, what the hell has been going on in gaming news over the past week?
Ed Boon is tweeting some stuff out. Now, unfortunately, earlier, a couple weeks ago, David Zaslav kind of spoiled the whole fun. Like, Mortal Kombat 12 was coming. It's like, oh, let Ed Boon do it. There's usually some
Yeah,
fanfare. And
fucking
so kind of
asshole.
deflate that took the wind out of his sails. But Ed Boon's putting stuff out there, and he's trying to make sure you get nice and excited for Mortal Kombat 12.
I'm excited.
Yeah, it says, does anyone know what time it is? There's a big, Mortal Kombat. So hopefully everyone's excited. It's going to be a really, really big year for fighting games because we also have Street Fighter coming.
Fighter.
Yeah, and so and then Tekken and all sorts of stuff. So good time to be a fighting game fan.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
like it, but I'm not very good at it.
well,
Terrible.
It don't matter, Joe.
Terrible.
It's fine. You don't have. That's the thing I think scares people off of fighting games. They feel like they need to be the best online in ranked matches and all this.
Oh, I don't
Fuck
even
all that.
dare go online.
I won't go
Right.
there.
I'll
Is
get
it-
juggled in the air.
Put me down.
That's
no.
why I like NetherRealms and their story modes and what they put all that effort into. And I'm hoping that Street Fighter 6 has a lot of effort in that as well for casuals like us.
There is a YouTuber facing 20 years in prison for intentionally crashing a plane in a real-life GTA stunt, and then he lied about it. So
What
he's
the fuck?
he was recording himself in a little plane, and he's like, "Oh no, my plane's going down. It's a good thing I'm wearing a parachute and I have this
Yeah, it's like,
GoPro."
this is
And
terrible.
he purposely and they people are going through all the footage and they're like, "But this guy purposely crashed his plane to make sure it was in this area to try to." Promote stuff that they were going to
It was a
promote,
stunt,
and then
yeah.
they lied
Terrible
to
stunt.
the Federal Aviation Administration about it, and that's a no-no.
Yeah, that's a no-no.
Yeah, you could have started a giant forest fire. You
Fucking
could have killed
crashing
people
planes for YouTube videos. Go to jail.
directly to jail.
Go to jail. I don't care how big the YouTuber is, how much money he has. Go to jail if you slam a plane into the ground on purpose.
What in your
Fuck
right
you.
mind would convince you, like, hey, this is a great idea. I'm going to crash a plane.
Those influencers all have rot brain. Their
Yeah.
brains are all rotted, Joe. Like, so don't expect much from them.
Yeah, it's the whole.
Even that one guy shot his girlfriend, or maybe his girlfriend shot him. Man, they're playing fucking, I don't know, seeing if you can take a bullet.
This sounds like a fun game.
Excuse me, what?
Yeah.
I can tell you right now, no,
Stupid
I can't.
bullshit.
I
can't.
actually told OJ earlier, like there was some prank thing where a guy's like finally getting to take a nap after working 12 hours, and they like dump water on him on his couch. It's like, if that ever happens,
Get the fuck
I
out of
will
my house.
beat you within an inch of your life. If I actually get to the point where I'm allowed to take a fucking nap and you dump anything on me, you're going to the hospital. So it's like this whole prank thing, influencer thing is stupid.
I hate these prank
Yes.
channels.
Stop
They're
watching their
so-
videos.
I
Yeah.
do. They're
Yeah.
just so stupid.
All right, and I this is not even good news. I was like, I could have been excited about. There's going to be a new Lord of the Rings MMO. Amazon's making it. Amazon.
You know, I'm excited about Lord of the Rings. Again, I've been buying a lot of miniatures because how bad the Rings of Power was. It's making me like try to ignore Rings of Power and rekindle my love of the
Are you
lore.
gonna do the same thing with Game of Thrones?
This is good. This is good news. What?
Are you gonna do the same thing with Game of Thrones? Or is that,
That's too fresh.
Joe,
or,
I have an addiction because I have bought miniatures for the Game of Thrones miniatures game in preparation of something good. House of the Dragon Season 2. When that comes out, we're gonna play, on our battle reports. So we're gonna play that. But we can also play Middle Earth on our battle reports while we ignore Rings of Power 2. No, while we begrudgingly review Rings of Power 2 and rage on it, which I'm sure is going to happen. So it seems like Amazon has inspired more people to make content within the Lord of the Rings universe.
So this is going to be Amazon Games, so they're getting back.
Oh, it's
yeah.
well, that's what I'm saying. Because is there any updates or anything with New World? Or are they still doing that?
They're still working on that, and so that one didn't go the way of Crucible that died forever. They're actually giving people kind of what they want. Crucible still has a pretty solid following, and I think if they speed up the level of updates, it can continue to be a success. But this is them trying to get into so they have a new deal with the Embracer Group, which acquired Middle Earth Enterprises last year. Tencent tried to do this. It kind of failed. They were kind of wavering back and forth. And then there's still the original.
Didn't we talk about that a while ago? That one in the works?
Yeah, so that was the Tencent one in the works. Didn't go anywhere.
Okay.
And so there also is just the normal Lord of the Rings Online that's been out for 16 years.
Yeah, that one's been out for a while. So it's no longer Tencent Games. It's Amazon Games.
Amazon Games.
And we're going to get fucking this piece of shit version of Galadriel who is going to be based on Rings of the Power.
And so it's going to be
based on Rings of the Power, Joe. I'm fucking out.
It's not. Fortunately, it's not. It's going to be take in the Third Age. So it's about the time that the one that's still going is right now. So I think that they're like, well, maybe we don't do it during Rings of Power because no one will play because this shit sucks.
Unless you want to do the Tomb Raider prawn, where the death prawn, where she's just constantly falling off cliffs and fighting bosses and getting one-shotted.
Yeah. So if you're excited
or yelling, it would be a great MMO if it was Rings of Power, because you'd like have all these combinations like Dance Dance Central for like yelling at people for no reason. I am the Tempest, or whatever
There's
she
a
says.
tempest inside.
Oh yeah, there's a Tempest inside me. And then just being a dick
Some great
for no reason. Yeah, that'd be awesome. Game.
I'm definitely not excited for this, for Rings of Power 2. I don't know. Actually, I just got The Adventures of Tom Bombadil from the original, like one of the original printings of it. Very excited about that. So if you're a Lord of the Rings person, that was a real fun find. I love Lord of the Rings. I do.
Yeah.
But this stuff sucks.
But it's gonna be based on the good stuff you said.
But it's still Amazon.
Oh yeah. Amazon Games.
Yeah.
Not Amazon Riders. Amazon Games.
Maybe the writers.
Maybe the writers will
circle
sneak in the door.
Yeah. Did you happen to hear about there was going to, before Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings, they were going to talk about having a different Lord of the Rings where Frodo has a sex scene with Galadriel?
No. What are you talking about? Shut
What?
up.
You're making shit up.
Making shit up.
Sounds
Just
like
shut up. That's not true.
Sounds like it.
That's not true.
Isn't that one of your
Anyways.
fan fictions?
Yeah, no, I recently picked up a wonderful set of painted black Numenorians from this guy on eBay, and I was like, oh man, I don't have a painted golem or a Bill the pony. And so he's going to paint up a Bill the pony and a golem for me, and I'm going to have the complete fellowship. So I can't wait to play. It's now called Middle Earth Strategy Battle Game from Games Workshop. That's coming up in our Wednesday, Warhammer Wednesdays. Come join us on Wednesday, Warhammer Wednesdays. We're playing every single Games Workshop game that is currently in print and out of print ones too. We just played the worst one, Dreadfleet, in leading up to Warhammer 10th edition, which if you're into the hobby, you should be excited about. And even if you aren't into the hobby, it could be your entry point. So come join us on Warhammer Wednesdays. Okay.
All right. So this was also the week that a lot of people put out their year-end financials, and so we're going to kind of go in pretty quick through some of them. Like Bandai Namco, sales hit $7.3 billion. They had a massive year.
God.
This is coming off of
Wait,
even
Namco Bandai 7
$0.3 billion.
What the fuck is the? What are they selling that's getting them that high?
One Piece Odyssey, JoJo Bizarre Adventure, All-Star Battle, Digimon Survive, Dragon Ball The Breakers,
Okay.
Elden Ring was one of the bigger ones.
Okay,
because
how could I forget? Yes.
So I mean, they're absolutely killing it, and then they're set to have another good year, right? Because we're talking about Elden Ring DLC probably sometime in this fiscal year.
Armored
Core,
Yeah.
I'm very excited about. So there's a lot of other stuff.
Isn't Bloodborne
good,
coming
good.
to PC?
Shut up.
Good. Maybe they'll get
want
fucking
it
more
so bad.
budget for goddamn fucking Dragon Ball games. I'm sick of fucking Dragon Ball games being given to the C teams and
Yeah,
shit, and
it's
not
copy
giving
and
enough.
paste.
Except for
Copy and
DBZ
fucking
Fighters,
paste.
that was a
oh
good
yeah,
one.
obviously.
Yeah. But god damn it, I forgot to finish up. So I bought those Black Numenorians because I fucking hated the Numenorians the way they were depicted in Rings of Power.
Oh, yeah.
These are actually the way the Numenorians would look, the evil Numenorians, because in the current Lord of the Rings lore, by the Third Age, there's a few Numenorians. I don't think you ever see them in the Peter Jackson movies, but they look badass. So yeah, stay tuned for that. So good that Namco Bandai is doing well, because we want to see more Elden Ring. We want to see more Armored Core.
Give me that DLC.
Give me that.
I need
It's
it.
rumored for Bloodborne, right?
Yeah, well, there's all sorts of rumors that Bloodborne will eventually get a PC release. I mean, even if it's just a PlayStation remaster, I would love it. So it's like, just give it to me. So, all right, Roblox also has record revenue, still losing massive amounts of fucking money. This every time we talk about this, it's crazy. 66.1 million users, and they are bleeding out cash like crazy. But it's better than it was. So it's like this year, 655 million, which is up. They are still losing $268 million. And so that's for this quarter. They're losing. That's just this quarter. So
Yeah,
like
I
in
don't
3
know
months.
much about Roblox to see what they could do. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, people like it because there can be like content that they can create and make some money off of it, but they're giving so much of that money away that they themselves aren't making any. But so things are looking bright because they've got the hard part, right? They've got all the user base. Now they just need to figure out how to monetize it without killing the game. I guess that actually is probably the hard part. Who else is doing well? Capcom killing it. Resident Evil 4 remake, record year for Capcom. That game sold 3.75 million copies in the final week of fiscal year to help set a new high mark for annual revenues. So they're doing really well. The thing about Capcom is, can they continue to do it? Because we are soon running out of games that you can remake.
You can't remake everyone.
And some of the ones that are kind of bad, or that people, because people like, oh, I like Resident Evil 0. It's
The
like, well,
3?
are you gonna?
They're eventually going to have to make a new Resident Evil. I mean, they did with 7 and 8. So,
Yeah.
no, they're fine, hopefully.
Yeah, it's just these remakes are making up a huge portion of the revenue, and so if they run out of those remakes to make, you're going to lose a huge chunk, and they don't like to see that.
Monster Hunter is also big for them,
killing
and they're doing fine.
Yeah. Oh, they're
copy
killing
and
it.
pasting on that.
Yeah, they're doing very well right now. It's just EA is a game talked a little bit about in their investor call about games as a platform, a bunch of evil, horrible shit that I hate hearing from Andrew Wilson. Says its future lies in developing games as a platform, building on the successes seen with live service models for titles such as FIFA, The Sims, and Apex Legends. Talking about maybe going through everything that Andrew Wilson said, I got the feeling that they maybe want to slow down on the amount of games that they're releasing and keep them for longer cycles, but really drive home the monetization within that to try to get more sales.
This is gonna be shittier.
He said that the publisher will be giving its development teams longer lead times on new titles, not just for quality, but also to account for building experiences designed to attract large audiences for a decade or more, really stay in these games for longer. So where we once built games in a year or 2 years and then monetize them over 5 weeks or 5 months, now games as a platform are taking longer, but the benefits are exponentially greater. Just talking about squeezing money out of people
Yep.
for their games, which They did okay. So the revenue's up over last year, up to 1.87 billion. So I think people have a weird view on the gaming industry where they think of EA as this massive company. And we just talked to every company we listed so far, other than Roblox, makes significantly more money than EA. Like Bandai really had much bigger stuff. And so like EA's doing well, but they're, I always, years ago before we started doing the news show, you think of EA as this giant competitor in there, and it's like, wow, they're smaller than you think.
Namco Bandai is 7 times bigger than EA.
No. So here, I'll pull up the exact.
Yeah, but didn't you do 7 billion and then you just say EA made 1 billion? That doesn't seem right.
So the profit for Bandai actually it looks to be almost about the same as EA. So their full year sales at 7.3 billion, and EA's profit was 1 billion.
Their sales are a different number.
Yeah.
So their sales might be better. We're talking profit margins now. That's different.
Yeah, so Bandai had larger total sales and similar-ish revenue. So Bandai Namco being the same size as EA is something that, a couple of years ago I would have never.
Yeah, well,
They're putting out better games.
well, we'll see.
Square Enix full year sales dipped 6%. So they launched Final Fantasy Crisis Core, Forspoken. But a lot of things just not lining up. And even if they made record money, Square Enix is the kind of company that says we're disappointed in our record money. It could have been more record money, but honestly, everyone could have predicted that because they've just made so many bad decisions that it makes sense.
Well, I'm trying to see what else they're gonna do if they don't want to do FC or Madden every year. They're gonna try to squeeze out more. Like, how can you do that even more? Because it's already terrible.
Oh, for EA,
It's not FIFA anymore.
It's yes. And so, they talked about, trying to make sure that they don't have to make a new game every year, and maybe they can just make more money by selling more surprise mechanics and all the other things. So we'll just have to see what they do. But that's a hard thing to come off if they're used to making, FC money every single year. I don't imagine they're gonna go away with that. One last thing that he said they were talked about is Battlefield as part of what they want to be doing. Battlefield, is an important thing, and he's again reiterated it was kind of disappointing. I was just looking at the numbers. Battlefield 1 and Battlefield 5 are still beating 2042 as far as player counts. Both of them independently, not combined, are beating 2042.
Good.
And then people
sends a message.
Yeah, and so he talked. They asked about specific dates. He's like, I don't have specific dates on the next Battlefield, but we understand, and we're going to be.
You're gonna get something completely new. Mobile game Battlefield, some fucking that we don't want, like that mobile arena that there was like rumored arena Battlefield or some bullshit. No, ooh, that rant's brewing. Ooh, don't fuck it up, man. That's my favorite fucking franchise, and right now, I'm a Call of Duty guy. I never thought I'd be a Call of Duty guy. I'm a Call of Duty guy, even though I don't play Call of Duty no more because it messed up the season.
Yeah,
well, but still.
Yeah, Nintendo also the profits dip to 6.6 billion, and so that's a pretty good place to be in. And it was mainly because they thought that they would sell more Switches. They thought that they were going to sell like 21 million Switches. They ended up selling 15 million Switches, so still lots and lots of people buying them.
I have a suggestion. Maybe they should lower their old games and they could sell more, because I saw Super Smash Bros. Still going for $60.
Hey, you're lucky it's not $70. That's a discounted price.
Like, come on. This game's been out for a while. Can you lower the prices?
Yeah, you don't
Maybe people will be more incentivized to buy your product. It's like, look, it's an older game. I could just go to, Walmart or something, find it discounted.
Yeah, well, then you got to make that trip, and good luck. You don't make 6.6 billion in gross profit, which is by discounting your old games. Nintendo's just they've got their market.
Yeah.
They've got their market. They have no problem, and the people who defend them have no problem. Just ignoring all the things like them DMCA claims. Someone was watching. It was Alana Pierce was watching official released Zelda content, and her Twitch channel got taken down because Nintendo is just like ban everyone. And it's just yes, it turned out to be an accident, but like that is not the kind of behavior that you want to see. And
no, fuck Nintendo, and it's just fucking annoying to deal with. And every game of theirs comes out, the fans are like, "This is a 10 out of 10." 10 out of 10. And then they harass and attack anybody that gives it a 6. 6.
All games are 10s, all of them. All right. Warner Brother executive says that Hogwarts Legacy sold 15 million, made over $1 billion, and then in the same breath started talking about all the IPs they own, games that they want to develop, and specifically mentioned Superman.
What?
Yeah. So
What's
Giving this guy hope again.
Don't do it.
I'm going to read you exactly.
Reread it.
I'm going to
Okay.
read you exactly
Read it.
what he said because
Read it.
the headline, the title of this article is Warner Brother exec says Hogwarts Legacy sold 15 million, made over $1 billion, and now they want to do the same with Superman. Now I think that they went a little far with that
That's
headline.
a little.
Okay.
That's like written from me.
Yeah, it was written for you.
Check that writer's name. Does that actually say Joe Vargas?
Yeah. No, Joe Lopez put it down there. He's trying to fuck with you. And so he's talking about the real. This is what he says: "Quote: The real differentiator for us as a company is we own our IP. We may be the only media company that owns, whether it be the DC universe, Harry Potter, all the content we own, Game of Thrones. That's for us to deploy. I think that's particularly important strategically." And then later,
Nintendo owns Zelda. Like, what are they talking?
I think he's talking about like movie license stuff and games in
Alright.
particular. When we launch a product on Max or HBO, and when we have a game, that game belongs to us. But now there's this in betweener. It may be in the next couple of years that we launch a Superman movie, and people spend more time, and there's more economics of people just hanging out in the Superman world and universe. Quote. So he's talking about opportunity.
He wants a Superman legacy game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so this is the opportunity, and it totally makes sense for Warner Brothers
Yeah.
because they own all these IPs. They
Yeah.
can make $1 billion.
There was no Man of Steel game. I was kind of surprised about that, but happy and sad at the same time because they fucked those up.
Yes.
And if they're not like super trying,
It's gonna
maybe-
be scary though. This is gonna be the make or break. It's like,
Right.
see, we can't do Superman. Never
So
again.
not only was it the highest degree of difficulty on a Superman film after throwing out, a really good actor for it and throwing out all the stuff we've established, which some of it needed to be thrown out. But now you're going to add on top of that if they try to do a game based on the legacy. And that's a high degree of difficulty that I really only think a few studios are capable of, like Rocksteady. But I'm losing a little bit of faith in Rocksteady with their Suicide Squad bullshit. So, yeah.
They're gonna fix it, right?
Yeah.
It got delayed.
Yeah. Well, the final thing he said is he kind of reiterating. I mean, the fact that we own all of this is something that I think is going to be really important as we look forward, as technology develops.
I'm going to remember this day, Alex, is the day that you gave me hope in a new Superman game.
And this is Zaslav himself. This is not me. I'm just reading
Zaslav
what he
himself.
said. Yeah. As technology develops and given the amount of time that people spend on gaming, we don't want to be in the motion picture and long-form storytelling business and have someone else in the business of hanging out in these worlds.
Yeah.
These worlds are going to be quite profitable in the years ahead. Looking at the massive success of Hogwarts, it's like why don't we have it for Game of Thrones? Well, I mean, you kind of shit the bed with that, but why don't you have
Game
it for the
of
DC?
Thrones have been bad games.
Yeah, well, and then the universe itself, people were kind of really
We need more.
We need poo-pooed on it. It's like, look, we own these things. Let's make these immersive games that we can make $1 billion off. And he's saying it specifically from the money-making perspective because he realizes that video games can make $1 billion
more money than movies.
Oh, for sure. And so making $1 billion, and he's looking at that and going, "Holy shit! I own the DC universe."
Just now figuring this out.
I
What
get
an idiot.
Well, yeah.
All right. Well, to add on to that, or did you already say that what's interesting is 2 of EA's biggest upcoming games, they're not going to be releasing for a while. And I was surprised by that. Skate 4 and Dragon Age Dreadwolf are absent in their 2024 financial report, which means they're not going to be released before April 2024. No, 2024. So they won't be released before April 2024. I was thinking, but I guess that does make sense, because you got to go through the cycle of then they haven't even done a tease. Well, they have done a tease for Dreadwolf, but they're all like logos.
Yeah. So they said it's not included in 2024's financials or 2023's?
The 2020, the fiscal 2024, so April 2024.
25, because fiscal 2024 is April to April.
Well, that's not what this particular article says. They say don't expect it before April 2020. So It was left off the publisher's upcoming schedule, both Skate 4 and Dragon Age Dreadwolf, which lists its releases from now all the way through March 2024, and it's not on there. So that's why they're saying it's probably no sooner than April. So it could actually be in April 2024. But yeah, I doubt it. Because the timing does make sense that it would be late. 2024.
That game has been started and restarted, and then it was like live service, then not live service, and then we changed it from Morrison to something else. To
I don't know
something
what
else.
it is now.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like, all right.
EA is still in solid shape with its remaining slate of 2023, and this might be why they're not making gangbusters like some of the other ones. Star Wars Jedi Survivor, it's one of their most popular ones out right now. Upcoming on the docket is going to be EA Sports FC. So we're going to see how that fucking F1 Racing 23, NHL 24, 24.
Is that in April or August?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's always
August.
August.
And then Super Mega Baseball 4, which, you know what? It's been a long time since we've played a baseball game, and this is the cool little chibi kind of thing. Maybe we should look into Super Mega Baseball 4. And the publisher hopes to make a splash with its upcoming first-person shooter Immortals of Avium when it releases on July 20th. So basically, EA's like fucking sports. Like, that's their, like, if you were to take away their sports games, EA would collapse.
Yeah, I mean, now the Battlefield's not doing anything.
Especially all the microtransactions, so that's what's really pumping them.
Well, I mean, EA. So FIFA, this year's FIFA did much better than last year's FIFA. Huge numbers.
Can't stop them, man.
But
Can't stop them.
we're gonna have to see if the fans are loyal to EA or the specific brand of FIFA. Because I mean, when FC comes out, it's still gonna be the only soccer football game in town. But FIFA's gonna be making a new game.
Not the only one. It's not the only one in town. There's PEC, which changed their name, and then there's other ones.
There was that
aren't quite
Konami
as
one.
good.
That Konami one that was really
that's
bad.
that's the one. eFootball.
That
And
one was
so we'll have to see. It's a transition year for football fans. We're gonna see how it shakes out. You think that FIFA themselves are partnering up with somebody to make a FIFA?
they want to make money too.
It's $250 million a year in licensing, and they do nothing but give them the 4 letters of FIFA.
Yeah.
And I think that they would be
Partner up.
if there are game people that like 2K that
Like 2K, do
calling them up and just be like,
soccer
I'll
game.
give you a percentage of what we make, and then FIFA's like, yeah, because like they're FIFA wants to make money too. Like that's what they're there for. So I can't imagine that they're not in process right now making something.
Okay.
It makes sense.
Cool.
All right, OJ, you had something you want to go over?
Yes, as a huge horror fan, I'm pretty excited. I said horror.
Okay.
Horror.
Horror
Ooh,
fan.
spooky.
You're a fan of horrors.
Yeah.
Got it.
maybe.
Wait, what?
Fear Fest is returning September 6th and 7th for Horror Game Awards. They'll be introducing some new games in the works and obviously some cool ones. They got Bloody Hell Hotel and Buddy Simulator 1984.
I'm a big fan of horror games. I mean, horror games is this kind of space where someone can come in and like make their own with like them either by themselves or with a small team and actually make an interesting product. It's not all garbage jump scares. I mean, some of it is, but there's some really interesting ones that we played.
Passionate.
It's Mortuary Sin scared the shit out of OJ.
We just want to
That
give
was
them more
fucking
money.
scary. Yeah.
I want to give those kinds of developers more money.
Yeah.
Instead of like fucking bullshit like goddamn FC and these roster updates and fucking Madden and shit. It's because you can make some really cool. Because remember those horror games, Phantasmagoria. I wanted to really build that out.
Phasmophobia.
Phasmophobia, not
Yeah.
Phasmophobia.
Yeah. I mean, there's tons of opportunities. And we played some pretty good ones too, like even like Devour and stuff.
Devour's great, and it still has another update
Yes,
too.
more
So there's,
updates coming out. So
I still got to play that new one and finish the old West Town.
look, one of these days you'll get good. It's just not today.
It was my team. My team was bringing me down.
Oh, the team that I won with.
well, I don't know. I don't know what happened.
You know what happened.
Well, I got one real quick
Okay.
thing since Joe mentioned that he's a fan of horrors. the detail is interesting for Starfield because the ESRB rating revealed that there will be some sexually suggestive dialogue, and it refers to the player sharing a bed with other characters. So is this going to be our romance options? Let's see. It mentions moderate impact language. Fucking, and then this seems to indicate profanity as well as suggestions dialogue, and then it mentions very mild impact nudity, so the game will not be visually explicit, but will include intimate romance options.
Something like, "Oh man, we just had sex." It's like, yes, wonderful.
You just share a bed. That's it.
Oh, that's nothing.
Yeah.
That's nothing.
So we'll see. It's probably nowhere near as hot and heavy as Mass Effect got. And and we're talking about within reason. Obviously, there's
Witcher?
Steam for the rest of that shit.
Oh yeah. And then the modders will immediately. That's the first thing that
Make
they
it
work
out
on.
of
It's just like, oh,
Starfield.
yeah.
Cool.
Use lizard men with penises.
Yeah, and
Like,
boobs.
why would you do that?
It's just like, why? It's like, I put boobs on the dragon. It's like, why would you do that? It's like, well, why not? It's like, all right.
All right. Well, you got me there.
I guess. Yeah.
All right. Well, that's the first video. We got a second news video for you with some more gaming news, but we want to thank our sponsors, Extra. Go out and grab one, guys, for your fathers or family or
Or yourself as
friends.
well.
Yeah, yourself. All right, guys. We'll see you on the next Angry Joe Show.